2 years ago, I booked an Airbnb at a relatively unknown place in the south of Thailand. The moment I got there, I realized that it was actually a hotspot for older expats who were retired. So the people around me were at least 40, most of them were over 50, and it wasn't uncommon for me to run into several 80-year-olds. I ended up staying at that place for over 2 months, and this video is exactly about the realizations that I had living with people who have been on this planet for much longer than I have. So realization number one was that age is actually relative. So 1 month into my trip, I turned 27 and I was sitting at a bar all by myself at 12 a.m. realizing that I had just turned 27. And I was not happy. I thought about all of the things that I still haven't done in my life. And there was this 80-year-old lady sitting next to me, and I told her that it's my birthday. And she asked me why I didn't look happy on my own birthday. And I told her that I feel so old now. And she looked me in my eyes, and this is exactly what she said. She said, "Sweetheart, you're a damn baby. You're literally a baby. What are you on about?" I tried to do my best impression of her, but this is what she said. And it had been a while since someone had called me a baby, but it did make sense, right? She was 80. So for her, I am literally a baby. She wasn't wrong. And if you think about it, we're all thinking relatively in our age. If I look at the history of the people who watch this video, I know that most of you are between 20 and 40. So if you're 20, and if you look at me right now, I'm 29 right now, you might think that this person is old. That's almost 10 years, right? But if you're around 39 or 40, you might look at me and be like, this guy's young. He still has so much to do, right? So it's the same age for me, but there are two completely conflicting opinions based on the relative age that you have. And even if objectively you are old, like you're, I don't know, 80 right now, feeling bad about it won't change the fact that you're 80, right? It might age you even faster. I'm 29 years old, and there are no other connotations attached to it. The reason why we feel bad about aging, though, is because of my reflection number two. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Now, if you're ambitious as a person, which I assume you are, that is why you're watching this video, you might have a lot of goals or dreams that you should have attained by this age. And every single time an year goes by, you look back at your dreams, and some of them, or a lot of them, have still not been achieved yet. And that is what makes the birthday sad. If you were at that point that you thought you should have been by this age, you'd probably be happy about it, right? And now I realize that all the notion of I should have done this by this age is itself very stupid and illogical in the foundation of it. Firstly, you're comparing yourself to some ideal. Maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's even a younger version of yourself. And you have that comparison analysis without taking into account so many other things that goes into the external achievements that we're chasing. One of my favorite TED Talks talks about the predicting matrix of what made a company successful. And on the very top of the matrix was actually timing. Like Microsoft became Microsoft because of its timing. Google became Google because of its timing. So the biggest matrix that define the external achievements that you're chasing, they're not even in your control. So why are you being so hard on yourself about the things that aren't even in your control? And also, do you actually truly objectively believe that right now you should have been at a better place and the current place that you are at is not good enough? Because for me, I always think that I'm not at a good enough place, but then I look around, then I look about the things that I do have, and I almost always end up with the conclusion that I am at a really good place. So for the past 2 years, instead of defining very external based goals, I started creating operational goals. For example, my goal for YouTube went from get 100,000 subscribers to upload a video every single week. The first one is not in my control, and the second one is. And once I started setting operational goals, I also felt that the feeling of feeling blue on my birthdays went down by a lot. And reflection number three was that our soul is ageless. We have our physical age. Our bodies are pretty much confined in time. With age, our body deteriorates. Of course, we can exercise and we can eat healthy, and the deterioration slows down, but it still progresses. But then we have our souls, our spirits. And our spirits and souls are as old as we like them to be. And I felt this so much during those 2 months because a lot of the people around me were so joyous, they were so happy, they were so free spirited. They danced, they laughed, they were just like children. I could not see a shred of aging in who they were as people. Of course, they felt more tired than I did. Of course, they couldn't dance as long as I could. But as people, they were as young as anyone can be. My only wish spending so much time with them was I wish to be this much cool when I'm at their age. I really want you to understand, out of all the things that we can't control as human beings, and there are many, growing older is one of the top ones. And having these 3 realizations gave me a kind of toolkit to not only cope with the phenomena of aging, but to embrace it. So I really hope you can do the exact same with these reflections. That is all for this week's video. I will hopefully see you next week.